Okay, so today we're diving into the world of autism in women, specifically this idea of high masking. We're really going to unpack how it connects to imposter syndrome, especially for women who are entrepreneurs.
Yeah, it's a fascinating area, definitely. And I think it's often misunderstood. I mean, most people have heard of autism, but they don't really, get the spectrum, how vast it is. And women's experiences, they can be just incredibly different from, the typical picture.
Right, yeah. It's not always the presentation that people might expect.
Exactly.
So let's define high masking for our listener. Like what does it actually look like in the day-to-day life of a woman who's, really doing this high masking?
Okay, so imagine, you feel like you're constantly on, like you're putting on a performance just to navigate, basic social situations.
Oh, wow.
Right. You're hyper aware of every little social cue, You're mirroring behaviors, maybe even suppressing your own natural ways of moving or speaking, like what's known as stimming, those little movements or sounds that can be like self-soothing for some people.
Right, right.
It's all about blending in, and often it gets to the point that even close friends and family might not realize what's going on beneath the surface.
Yeah, that's got to be exhausting. That constant effort to fit a mold that might not feel natural. It's almost like living a double life in a
It
way.
is. It is.
What kind of toll does that take?
Oh, the emotional toll it's immense. All that energy spent on masking, it can lead to incredible anxiety, chronic stress, and this deep feeling of disconnect from like your true self.
Yeah.
Imagine constantly second guessing your every interaction, wondering if you're responding correctly.
Oh, constantly.
It's no wonder it's unsustainable in the long run. And that's actually where I think we see this powerful connection to imposter syndrome.
Okay.
Now, you've probably, you've heard of imposter syndrome,
Right.
that feeling of being a fraud, doubting your accomplishments, even when, frankly, you have plenty of evidence to say, to the contrary.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, that feeling of I don't belong here.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you're going to be found out at any moment.
exactly. Like you're going to be exposed.
Yes.
And for someone who's high masking, that feeling is, oh man, it's amplified
Right.
because a part of their true self is always like hidden. It's
Yeah.
like this constant internal pressure cooker.
Oh yeah. I can only imagine. So it's like high masking is just throwing fuel on the fire of imposter syndrome.
It really is.
What makes that connection even stronger for autistic women? Especially, in the entrepreneurial world, which is what we're really looking at.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the key factors is just this pressure to conform,
Okay.
especially in professional settings, right?
Oh, absolutely.
One article I was looking at mentioned, autistic women feeling this pressure to overperform
Wow.
in order to compensate for, any social differences they might, experience.
Right.
So they're not only masking, but they're also striving to like exceed expectations constantly,
Yeah.
which you can imagine can be completely exhausting.
Oh, it's like they're constantly trying to prove themselves,
Yeah.
even when they've already accomplished so much.
Exactly. And that can lead to like setting these impossibly high standards for themselves,
Right.
which only reinforces that feeling, right?
Yeah.
Of being an imposter when they inevitably fall short. Because, I mean, who can live up to,
Right.
those standards all the time?
Yeah, exactly.
And then you layer on top of that the societal misunderstandings surrounding autism.
Right, because it's not always easy to see autism,
No.
especially in women who have become so adept at masking, at blending in.
And that can lead to some, hurtful comments,
Yeah.
even if they're well intentioned, like you don't seem autistic,
Right.
which I mean,
Invalidates the entire experience.
completely. One of the articles even quoted a woman saying, "The inability to express their true selves can lead them to believe that they are not autistic enough or that their experiences are less valid, fostering feelings of inadequacy."
Wow. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's the reminder that, we all need to be more understanding
Yeah,
and avoid making assumptions about someone's experiences.
absolutely.
It's so important to acknowledge those challenges.
Yeah.
But what I really appreciate about the articles you shared is that they don't just, stop at describing the problem.
Right.
They actually offer some like really solid advice for women who are dealing with this, this high masking and imposter syndrome, particularly in the entrepreneurial world.
Yeah, yeah.
It's almost like a thriving, not just surviving guide.
Totally, totally.
So for the listener who's right now thinking, okay, this resonates, but where do I even begin?
Right.
What what are some of the most actionable takeaways from the research?
Well, one of the most powerful strategies, and it sounds simple,
Yeah.
but it's often overlooked, is celebrating your wins,
Okay.
no matter how small they might seem.
Okay.
One article actually suggested like keeping a success journal,
Huh.
like a dedicated space to actually write down your achievements.
Oh, wow.
Imagine having that like concrete evidence to refer back to when, that self-doubt creeps in.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah.
It's like having a tangible reminder of your own, like,
Yeah.
awesomeness to
Yeah.
combat those negative voices.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And never underestimate the power of finding your community.
Yeah.
The research really highlighted the importance of connecting with others who understand your experiences,
Right.
especially other, neurodivergent women in the entrepreneurial world.
Yeah.
Knowing you're not alone in this journey can be incredibly validating.
It's like that saying, it takes a village. Right?
Yeah.
Finding your people, your tribe can make all the difference.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you're building that, like, external support network,
Okay.
remember to nurture the most important relationship of all, the one you have with yourself.
Right.
Self-compassion is key.
Oh, yeah.
Trade that harsh inner critic for kindness and understanding.
It's about recognizing that you're doing the best you can with the tools you have, right?
Exactly.
And that's more than enough.
That's more than enough. And one of the articles summed it up beautifully, actually. It said, by acknowledging your achievements, seeking support, and embracing authenticity, you can navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
It's a powerful reminder that, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be yourself.
This whole deep dive has been so eye-opening, I have to say.
Yeah.
It's about so much more than just, individual women's experiences.
Yeah.
It's a call to action for all of us
Mm-hmm.
to create a world that truly values neurodiversity.
I love that takeaway.
Yeah.
It's a reminder to be more aware, to
Mhm.
challenge our assumptions, and to actively support, autistic women who are bringing such unique and valuable perspectives to the table,
Yeah.
especially, in fields like entrepreneurship.
You've given us so much to think about today.
It's been a pleasure.
But as a final thought for our listener,
Yeah.
the articles we explored, they focused specifically on imposter syndrome and entrepreneurship.
Right, right.
But how might these challenges, manifest differently in other areas of life?
Yeah.
Like in personal relationships or creative pursuits?
That's a great question.
And what other, perhaps less visible challenges do high-masking autistic women face? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, let us know.
Keep diving deep.